Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. How are you all doing today? I hope everything is going fine. So today we're going to sew this two-piece shirt and trouser, okay? And if you're seeing this video for the first time, please subscribe, like, comment, just do something, okay, so that YouTube can recommend my video. Okay, so I've gone ahead to spread my fabric and I've gone ahead to fold it into two, and now I'm getting my neck measurements. This is the back of the shirt. The neck, I went in by 2 inches length and 2 inches width, and I've gone ahead to connect the lines together. Now I'm getting my shoulder. The shoulder I'm working with is 14 inches divided by 2, that's 7 inches. I've gone ahead to mark 7 inches. Now I'm marking shoulder slants, that is 1 inch shoulder slant, and I'm going ahead to use my ruler right now to slant it just like so. Okay, now the next thing is our armhole. I'm working with is 8 inches. Okay, I'm gonna head to mark 8 inches. I'm gonna connect the line with the shoulder, and then I curve to form the armhole, and that is it. Now the next thing is to get our bust point. From shoulder to bust point is 11 inches, and I'm gonna head to mark 11 inches. Now tummy is 14 inches. From shoulder to tummy 14 inches. I've done that. Now the length of the shirt is 27 or 30, anyone you want. Now I'm taking my measurements. My bust circumference is 40 divided by 4, that's 10, and I added 2 inches sewing allowance. So I connected it together with the tummy line as well. I didn't measure my tummy differently. Since it's going to be a free shirt, there will be no need for that. So I've gone ahead to cut out the back one. Now we are going to be sewing the front one. Okay, I've folded the remaining fabric, and now I'm placing the back one that we did cut the first time on it. So now I want to measure out 3 inches. I already measured out 3 inches for buttonhole. Okay, so this is me tracing it out. So this extra place now that I'm opening up is the buttonhole. That's where the button will stay. Okay, now I'm going to curve this side a little because I want the shirt to have a little curve. So this is me making the curve. No particular measurements for this. Okay, you can just use your instinct depending on what you want. If you want the curve to go deep, you take your hand inside. If you want it to not go deep, just whatever you want. Okay, so no particular measurement for this particular curve. I just want the shirt to have that side slant or side curve. Okay, so that is it. Now I'm going to fold here 1.5, 1.5, 1.5, 1.5 on the other side as well, and sew it straight. Also 1.5, 1.5 inches and sew it straight. Okay, so let's go and do that. Now that has been done, see how neat it is already. So this is it now. Okay, so I'm trying to arrange it so that I can place the back one on top of it and get our measurements, the actual measurements. So you see what I did? I made sure one of the shirts, of the 2 front shirts, are on top of each other. When you wear your shirt, that's how it always is. Okay, when you're wearing button shirt, that's how it always is. So that's what I did. So I'm just pinning it so that it won't move when I start shaping it. Okay, if you have watched this video to this point, please, my dear lovely one, give it a thumbs up and drop a comment, okay, so that YouTube can recommend my videos. So I've gone ahead to do that. Now I've placed the back one on top of it. You can see they are equal, or almost equal, just slightly. So I'm pinning the shoulders first before I take my measurements. Now it's time to take my measurements, starting from the bust. Now instead of dividing it by 4, now I'm going to be dividing it by 2 because I've opened up the shirts. Okay, now this is me minusing the extra 2 inches allowance I added. When it was on fold, if you add 2 inches, it will now become 4 inches by the time you open it up. Okay, so now 2 inches here, 2 inches is 4 inches. So this is me removing the 2 inches, and I drew the line straight. So the bust measurement and tummy measurement is the same because I want it to be a little bit free. Okay, that is why I just drew it straight instead of measuring the waist separately. So now we're going to sew. Okay, I've gone ahead to join it. I've sewn that. You can see. So it's time for us to get our collar measurement or the neck measurement, because I want it to have a collar. So this is me measuring the neck. So place your tape from here, from beginning of the neck to the end of the neck. So what I got is 19.5. Okay, but I'm going to be cutting 20 inches or 21 because of sewing. By the time you trim this side and trim this side, it will reduce. Okay, but make sure it is exactly the same size with your shirt. So this is what I'm going to be using to make this illustration, but I'm not going to be putting this on the shirt because this is breast pad gum. This is a breast pad gum stay and it's too thick. It's because I ran out of gum stay. That is why I'm using this for illustration. But I'm still going to get gum stay later in the day. So now I've gone ahead to fold this. And remember what we got was 19.5. So let's say it's 20 inches. Okay, half of 20 inches is 10 inches. I've gone ahead to mark 10 inches. Now upon marking this 10 inches, we are going to still get half of 10 inches. Half of 10 inches is 5. I folded it and I marked 5. Okay, so the midpoint of this collar is 5. Now we are going to go up by 1 inch. So from that 1 inch, you rule a straight line, a slant line from that 1 inch, connect to the midpoint, just like so. Now we're going to go up by 1 inch again, another 1 inch, but this time upwards. Okay, so this is me making dot line, 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch until you get to the down or to the end of the collar, the other end. Now with your ruler, you join the dotted lines together, just like so. If you follow this procedure, to sew collar will no longer be a problem for you. Now you're going to go up by 1.5 inches, 1.5 inches, just like so. So I'm dotting the lines, 1.5, 1.5, 1.5. Again, you use your ruler and connect the dots together. Okay, yeah. Now you join this line together and then you go in by 1 inch. Just what I'm doing now. You go in from that line by 1 inch and slant it. That will be your collar point or collar curve. Okay, so now it's beginning to look like something, right? So it's time to cut. But now there was a slight mistake here. The folded part of this fabric I'm using for illustration, it wasn't supposed to be cut. So it was a mistake. I wasn't supposed to cut the folded part. Now look at the midpoints. Now it's 2 separate collars and it's not supposed to be so. They're supposed to be together. So I already have a detailed video of how to make collar. It's also in my channel, if you can check it out. So I'm just pinning this now together because it was never supposed to be opened in the first place. They are meant to be together on a straight line. So if I use this now to sew that collar, it's going to reduce the collar measurement. So that is why I'm never going to be using it. So but this is for illustration purpose. Okay, now I'm going to be taking it now to cut this fabric, to trace out this fabric. So what I'm going to do now, because I don't want my collar to be smaller, I'm going to just add some inches. Okay, so this is it now. This is my collar stand. This is it on the fabric. So I'm going to also create that one, 2 of it. So what I'm going to do now is to iron here and iron the other one so that they will stay together. So now it's time to cut out the second part of this collar. Okay, because it's supposed to be 2 parts. We're going to use one to turn one as the lining. so I folded it to make it faster. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut it and trace it out just like so. Please, how to make a perfect collar is on my channel, just in case you're confused on this one. I don't want to make this video too long, that is why I'm rushing it, so that at least you can save data while watching. Okay. So if you have watched this video to this point, I really appreciate your patience. I want you to please drop a comment for me. Okay, God bless you. So I'm done tracing it out. Now we have two collars. One will be for the lining. Okay, so we're going to sew here and sew here, and then leave this side open, because that is where we're going to be attaching it into the neck of our shirt. So this is it. I've finally gotten gum stay, and I used my gum stay to iron it together and make it have weight a little bit. So now what I'm going to do now is to fold here, fold it a little bit, and then sew it round. So guys, this is it guys. Let me open it up. This is it. This is our shirt collar, or the collar of the shirt. Now it's time to cut the sleeve. So the sleeve is 10 inches, or rather I did 12 inches because of folding. Now for the round sleeve is 8 inches. I'm gonna head to bring out the 8 inches. Now it's to cut the armhole. So I'm going to place my tape here and curve the tape to up to 9 inches and create the armhole, which means the armhole is 9 inches. And make sure the armhole you get on the sleeve is the same thing with that of your shirt. So if the sleeve here is 9 inches, that means the shirt's armhole is also 9 inches. Okay, so I'm just removing the pointed edge, that's all. So we are cutting the second one now. It's two hands. So this is me tracing it out. And yes, I'm done with that. So now we have two sleeves. Now the next is my shirt. When I did my shoulder, when we were cutting it, I did 7 inches. That's 14 inches divided by 2, 7 inches. But I'm going to go ahead and trim the shoulder down a little by 4.5 inches. So I did, instead of doing 7 inches now, I did 4.5 inches. That's because I don't want the shoulder to come too down when I wear it. Okay, so now the armhole is now 9 inches. So now I'm also going to measure 4.5 here and cut out the extra excesses. So make sure the armhole on the shirt is the same thing with the armhole. This is 9 inches. Good. Make sure it's the same thing with the armhole on the sleeve. Now I'm gonna head to sew the sleeve. I've closed it up like so, and I folded the down part of the sleeve. Okay, now it's time for us to attach it on our shirt. So this is it. For you to know that you got it accurately, place your shirt like that, and then make sure the armhole is facing each other. That's how you achieve accuracy when you're putting your armhole, when you're putting your sleeve. This is it. Make sure the armpit of the shirt and the armpit of the armhole, where the line joined, make sure they are together. And now this is the shirt. I'm gonna head to fold the side. For this curvy side, I also went in a little bit to make it just a little bit deeper. That is why the curve is inside a little. So guys, this is the shirt now. It has already come out perfect. In fact, I'm done with it. The next thing is to put buttonhole, but I don't do the buttonhole. I'm going to take it to people that do buttonholes. They're going to open buttonhole for me. Okay, so guys, this is it. Like, this is perfect. This is beautiful. Thank you for watching for the shirt. Now let's go over to the trouser part. Now for the trouser, the extra fabric, I'm gonna have to fold it into two, just like so. Now for this trouser, I'm not going to be cutting it from beginning. I already have a pattern paper I drafted on how to make a perfect trouser, which is also in my channel. So because I already have my pattern, I'm going to place this pattern here and cut it and trace it out. Okay, I'm not going to be doing it here on this table because this table is quite short. I'm going to take it down on the ground and just trace it out. I didn't do much, I didn't do anything different. I only just placed the pattern paper on it and trace it out. That's all. So this is the front. So I'm going to sew here and then put the bind. Okay, now let's do our dart first. The dart, I went in by 5 inches width and 5 inches length, starting from the crotch line. Okay, starting from the crotch line, 5 inches here and 5 inches length downwards as well. You draw your straight line and then you go ahead and sew. So for you to learn how to sew trouser from scratch, I have a lot of trouser videos in my channel. I also have how to draft the perfect trouser on my channel. I will drop the link on this video in case you find it difficult to search. Okay, now this is the back of this trouser. I'm going to place the front one on it to trace out the zipper allowance we added when we are cutting. Okay, I've done that. Now I'm going to go ahead and bring out the darts. So 5 inches length and 5 inches width. I also repeat the same thing on the other side of the back trouser. The same thing here. So I only just traced it out. Trace it from the front. Cut the length as well. So now I'm going to sew it and sew here. So this is it, guys. I've done ahead to do that. So this trouser is going to have trouser bind as well. So this is the front and that was the back. Now this is the front first. So for us to get the bind is 17 and a half inches length, but I'm going to make 18 inches or 18 and a half just to be on the safe side. So for the bind is 2 inches. Remember, during the cutting of our trouser, we removed 2 inches for bind. So this is what we are doing now. So this is the 2 inches width I removed for the bind, or 2 inches length rather, 2 inches length. So this is it. This is the 2 back. The back, the back is 2 because of zipper allowance, and this is front. The front is just 1. So this is it. I wasn't supposed to join this trouser before putting the bind. I mean the back one. I wasn't supposed to sew the crotch first. I was supposed to join the bind before the crotch, but either way I was able to open it and attach it. So this is the front and that is the back. So this is the front of the trouser now, and this is the back. Okay, you can see the zipper allowance. That's the back. So now we are about to shape this trouser so that we can finally finish up this dress. Now I've placed 2 of them together. The front and the back are facing each other, right side to right side. So now this is me measuring my waist circumference divided by 2. Whatever I get, I mark and remove the extra inches allowance I added when I was cutting. The same thing on my hip. Whatever your hip circumference is, you divide it by 2 this time, no longer by 4. So you remove extra allowance. Okay, now for the tie, I'm just joining the line together from the waist to the hip. So now I'm going over to measure the tie. Okay, I'm going over to measure the tie. I wasn't supposed to draw that line down to thigh line. I was supposed to stop it at hip line. So I'm going to adjust it now. So I've gone ahead to measure my thigh line. My thigh line is divided by 2. It's 2 inches. Thigh and the knee are not divided by 4 anyway. They're divided by 2. So it's still the same 2 that I used to minus the inches. And this trouser is going to be tight only on the waist and the hip. So the leg is free. The thigh and the knee region should be free. So but I'm showing you how to do it. Okay, so we're going to also measure the other side. Whatever your thigh circumference is divided by 2. If you want, you can remove the allowance you put there. If you want, you can leave it. If you want it to be a free trouser. So this is it. Now I'm gonna go ahead and sew it together. Make sure this crotch, the back crotch and the front crotch are facing each other. That is where you're starting your sewing from. Before you even start sewing the sides, the back crotch and the front crotch should be facing each other. Okay, now this is it, guys. I've also added the zip and I've folded the legs. Very nice. Thank you for watching, guys. And this is the dress on me. You can see the cuff part of the shirt, and also it also have slits which came up high, which I like. That's the way I wanted it. So this is it, guys. Look at the buttonhole. I've also opened up the buttonhole. Everything about this dress is so perfect. You can even tie it like this if you want. I can choose to wear it like this now if I want. Make it take the front to be like a different design, you know, when I tie it. Thank you for watching, guys. I really appreciate. See you in my next video. Bye. Please kindly subscribe, like, share, comment. Okay, bye.